have there's no sound effects because Zoom cancels it out. Almost a
Oh,
pity because it kind of sounds nice in some way.
oh. Next time
Well, I don't know how to change it on Zoom.
you can figure it
Okay,
out.
hello, we're live. We're live. Welcome to the meeting, everyone, or welcome to the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join in these meetings. If you're watching the recording, check out DanteStarshine.com, sign up for the email list, and you'll be informed as to when the streams are. That said, we are hoping, I am intending to do a recurring stream every week, and it looks like it will be Wednesday evenings in the US. That's my Thursday morning. If that's good for you, let me know. If you don't like that time and think another time's better, also let me know. So joining in the streams is the best way to engage with the energy, to feel the energy of the Pleiadian Council live. Of course, when you hear the recording, you also get connected with them. But when you join, you can get the chance to ask your questions. So those in the Zoom chat can ask their questions, and hopefully we can have some people read the questions from YouTube or Zoom. If you feel a little bit shy, there's no need to be on the video. But yeah, audio is only is fine too. And that said, the Zoom etiquette is just one thing. Please be muted when you are not speaking and don't interrupt. Um, so, just a brief little mention. Um, as I said, you can find the email.
Can't hear you, Dante.
Oh, you can't hear me? Hello?
I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps it was. You're back now.
Okay. All right. Just a little glitch in the matrix. So if you hop over to DanteStarshine.com, join the email list, and you'll get the updates about when the streams happen and some more goodies. Make sure it doesn't go to your spam folder. The drop down menu has all sorts of things. There's two books I have, and another one coming soon. There's the guidebook to living love on earth, Abundance Teachings. That's not the name of the book, but there that is a book too. And of course, if you want to dive deeper, we can go and explore your personal questions and do a sort of laser focus session on your needs. And you can sign up here. And also, if you want to support these sessions and happening regularly, taking care of the costs of Zoom and all of that, donations are really appreciated for these sessions, but are by no means mandatory. But I really thank you. It really helps me to keep doing this and sharing these videos regularly. So that said, let's dive in, I think. Yeah. Just gonna have one more bite of this banana. Okay. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to all of you at this moment of your time. We at the Pleiadian Council, we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place and for receiving it in this way. Now, there are great changes afoot in your world. That's the nature of reality. It is always changing. It would take more effort to remain constant than for there to be this natural, ever flowing change that is simply how things go. With that said, as you move further along the timeline, you can see that more rapid changes are taking place. And this is all serving the purpose of a collective awakening. Awakening to higher truth and connection to your own source doesn't always come with ease because you have to expand your awareness. Oftentimes, you push things that are uncomfortable or cannot be reconciled in the moment into the shadow. And when it comes time to expand, to become more completely aware, to become a more whole version of yourself, you have to face that shadow. The difficulty is in your resistance to feeling, to witnessing, to owning everything that is in the shadow. Indeed, in your world, you have learned that you have to be the very best version of yourself at peak performance as much of the time as you can in order to succeed and belong. But actually, in order to let go and accept yourself, you have to embrace some of these more challenging experiences that you have, recognizing that they don't actually hold you back from success, but your resistance to them does. Now, in your world, you are seeing a great change in a particular nation that is troubling to so many. And others are celebrating it, though we would say they are in the dark. However, you want to see it. Today, we want to talk about how you can go deeper in your own process of awakening. So we've called this Unraveling Collective Fears. Yes, many fears are coming up in the collective. And we wish to illuminate at this time the difficulty in not recognizing the fear that you experience. Sometimes you say things like, I have stress, I have anxiety, I have worry, but you don't recognize that those emotions are built out of fear. You cannot experience anxiety without having a particular fear. And by naming the feeling, this is fear, and coming to identify what that fear is about, then you get the chance to unravel it. Sometimes you instead attempt to use a distraction to make the fear go away, to make the experience go away. And we're not actually going to make that wrong because it is not wrong. It's when you do that unconsciously, because really you are here to follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome. This, as we've said, is your path to embodying the source, is your path to healing, is your path to creating the strongest connection to this reality that you are a part of. And so, in order to heal, it's not as much about going back through past experiences and mentally deconstructing them. That is helpful at first, and it will come up again and again. But that is just an initiatory phase of the process. What really heals you is having tremendous experiences of love that happen through doing things that you feel excited about, that you feel passionate about, that give you a sense of purpose. It comes from within your heart. When you become heart-led and let love become the guiding force, love will change the very nature of your being. Love is what brings about these healing processes. And love is the opposite of fear. Though you have to paradoxically embrace the fear. You have to love the parts of you that experience fear in order for love to saturate the entirety of your being, the whole soul that you are. So when you experience any limiting or challenging or negative emotion, come to recognize the fear within it. Yes, all of these challenging, limiting emotions stem from this fear. Sadness is a fear of a lack of love or connection. Anger is a fear of loss of power or capability. Jealousy is a fear of a lack of opportunity. And so instead of focusing on the emotion itself, come to recognize that there is a false perception of lack that is based in fear. And the truth of the matter is that there is a way for you to get exactly what it is that you need. When you feel this fear in your body, allow yourself to connect directly with it. Allow yourself to feel where in your body you are holding it and observe it neutrally. Cultivate a sense of balanced neutrality. Recognize that this energy cannot really hurt you. It's there to show you what you believe to be true. And when you recognize the belief that underpins this fear and disprove it to yourself by giving yourself the experience of love, by giving yourself the experience of abundance, you will dislodge this energy from your system, and that frees you up to be able to do things that fill your heart with more love and joy. The powers that control your world have always used fear to get you to do the things that benefit them at your expense. Sometimes this is loud and sometimes this is soft. Now it's becoming more and more loud, but you must recognize that this has been a part of how it's worked for a long time. That subtle messaging telling you that you might not have enough unless you do this or that has been a way to influence collective human behavior so that these people could benefit. And in order for you to break free, you have to recognize the nature of the game. You have to recognize that when you stop feeding fear into the system based on fear will fall apart. The new earth is based in love and will replace the old systems based in fear. You create this new earth every day that you let love guide your actions and you let love be your predominant state of being and your focus. Having no insistence on the outcome is the only way for your love to be truly unconditional. Because without that unconditional aspect, oftentimes your love is nothing more than desire. And desire is helpful to an extent, but desire also has the power of trapping you, of keeping you fixated. Unconditional love recognizes that The only purpose is to experience greater love and greater joy, and that specific outcomes can trap you. The universe has much better in store for you. And the truest love is at the core of your being at all times. You only get to this love when you let go of your insistence on outcomes and you let go of the belief systems based in fear that keep you fixated. Instead, open to an all-encompassing view of yourself and of the world. There are great changes taking place to be very excited about. So see it all as a grand movie unfolding and know that you're also participating in it. When you let yourself choose love and let love guide you, you will start to edit the script and create different scenes in the movie of this collective process. So, our great thanks to you, and we ask, how can we be of service to you now with your questions, comments, and inquiries, beginning whenever you would like.
Hi, Dante.
Hello, yes.
Hi, it's Cindy.
Hello, welcome.
I'm so thrilled to be here today and just feel so blessed that I just happened to come upon your post today. And I just recently returned from Guatemala at Lake Atitlan, and that's where I first had met you like 10 years ago. I don't know if you remember or not, but it doesn't matter. It was at the Harvest Festival, and you had a crystal on your head.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, my question is, so I'm living in Chicago. It's a very dense city. And what's happening in the world is it feels very, very dense and difficult to navigate. What do you recommend?
Well, are you following your highest passion? Are you living what you love to do on a daily basis?
I try. I try. But that's a very good question. So I try. I babysit for my granddaughter 2 days a week, which absolutely takes me to my highest vibration. Yeah. And it's just, there's other times I'm alone a lot. So I guess what to do with those alone times.
You must do what you love the most in that time. That's the most crucial time. That's the time when you're most intimate with yourself. And if you spend that time fixated on fear or letting fear stifle you, then the state of the world becomes your inner state of being. And as you change the within, the outside changes as well, though you have to actively participate in this process.
I see. So
can you think of some things that you would love to do more than what you're currently doing in that time?
Yes, actually, practice Qigong, meditate more regularly.
Yes.
Go on walks. Be out. I live right on the lake in Lake Michigan in Chicago. So just go down to the water and go down to the beach.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess I'm very blessed. Very blessed.
And can you choose to do these things more often?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And do you recognize the things that are not your highest excitement that keep you back from feeling fully at peace?
Yes, I when I watch the news,
yes.
That's exactly when it happens. So I've been really doing a conscious effort to not watch the news But even if you don't watch the news, it's on every social platform that you open up. So
because it's real, because it's happening. But again, do you choose to give your power to that? Because the truth of the matter is, even if things got much worse than they did today, you could still go for a swim, go to the lake. You could still do Qigong. You could still meditate. You could still read a book. You could still go climb a mountain if you wanted to. None of your own life is stopping because of what's happening. Though there is a collective pressure to give into this fear. And this is part of the game, you see, because some people who are even more influenced by this fear will come to participate in a different way that ends up giving a lot of power to the system itself. Worrying about it is a small way of giving it power. It really holds you back from doing the things that fill you with love. And again, when you're filled with love, you have the power to channel and direct that energy to other people, to uplift them, to create a sort of growing wave of love that snaps people out of their hypnotized state. You see?
Yes. Yes, I do. I love that so much.
And that's how things will change. Though when people give in to fear and they let fear bring them to rage and violence or judgment, that creates a wave that just as much creates a paralyzing effect on others. And so the true way of revolution is nonviolence, is based in love, is based in compassion. And yes, they are the fear that ripples through the collective is a contracting force that brings many to participate in these more difficult ways of attempting to prevent what's happening. Though really, it is love that will break you all free. It is love that will free you.
I agree 100%. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you as well. Anything else you would like to ask?
No, I just appreciate you very much.
Oh, yes, our appreciation. Love to you as well.
Thank you.
I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
Or make a comment. Both.
All right.
Thank you. Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello.
I loved what you said about fear, and it reminded me of a book I read by Ptah, who you may know as an entity, and just the idea of when fear is there. Like, I don't have fear right now, but I have a little nervousness, which is okay. But just to say that fear is present and recognizing that fear is present, and that always stuck with me. And
yes. Well, even nervousness is fear to an extent.
Yes.
It's subtle, but that's the key, is noticing that even these subtle emotions or these different flavors of emotion all stem from fear.
Yes. Yes. And my love is stronger, especially with your help. So I have a personal question, and it sort of relates to this topic, in that I've been trying to pinpoint what would bring me the greatest joy as far as bringing money into my life, having a job. Parenthetically, part of me is just very happy not having a job, which may be part of the problem. But I had this thought occur to me last night that I could start my own business. and then the doubt creeps in, like, that's ridiculous. I'm 61 years old. I want to start my own business. And anyway, but starting a clothing business perhaps, or a little taco trucky type thing, or those are the two things I have in mind. It doesn't really even matter what they are, but it's just the idea of being independent and being able to support the community in a joyful way. I think
if it's exciting for you, try it out.
Yeah, nothing to lose, right? Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you for that.
Have no insistence on an outcome, but try it out. Choose whichever one would be the very most exciting for you. Allow it to happen step by step. Consider how you might start a foundation and expand from there.
Yes. Perhaps taking a class in business, something to that effect, but getting some assistance. Yes, but just exploring. I appreciate that very much. And could I ask one more question, please?
Oh, yes.
Last night I experienced some intense stomach pain that lasted for about 20 minutes, and this happens to me on occasion. And it's near the area of where my gallbladder was, which was removed. But it's a very similar pain profile, and I worked through it. And eventually told myself a good enough story that I was able to calm my body and feel better. But I'm wondering if there's a particular organ or system that I should be alerting my regular doctors to.
Well, it's the liver. It's not a major concern, but it has to do with some of your regular habits, as the liver is what removes toxins from your system. And sometimes you get this signal to let you know that you're overloading it just a little bit.
That feels right. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Much appreciated. And I do have, if you would like, if I can find it real quick, a chat question to read, unless somebody else would like to.
Let's hear it now.
Give me a second. I have to find it. Let's see. How do I do this? Boop, boop, boop. Chat. Yes, please read my question. Okay, here. Okay, there's two questions. I'll read the first one. What health risks of HPV virus? Does HPV virus vaccine have health benefits, and does it prevent cancer and other diseases?
This could potentially lead to some forms of cancer if you contract the virus, but it doesn't have to be that way. It leads to cancer when there are certain conditions. These conditions being stress, toxic overload, and so on. The vaccination is not necessarily dangerous. It can help in preventing it if you consider yourself at risk and it feels relevant for you.
Oh,
of course, we would say all vaccinations have some risk for those sensitive individuals, but it's up to you in your own belief systems. Remember that you are the placebo and you decide. Consciously become aware of your beliefs. If you believe something is good, it will likely have that effect. If you believe it is bad, it will likely have that effect. If you have mixed beliefs about it, both of your beliefs will affect the outcome. You have the power to change your beliefs, but if you don't feel capable of changing your beliefs and you have not been successfully able to do so, perhaps it's better to cooperate with your beliefs.
That's lovely. Yes. Cooperate with your beliefs. Or not. Would anybody else like
you can change them?
Yes.
No, sometimes when you believe a certain thing about a food or a substance or so on, it's there for a reason. And other times it's not. You have to challenge your own mind, open your mind to new ideas, come to recognize how powerful your mind is. because your own consciousness is far more powerful than most things that you put in the body.
Thank you. There is another question in chat, but I would just like
All
to
right.
speak to see if anybody has something they would like to voice at this time.
All right, yes.
This is Raina, and I'll ask a question, but I like the question in the chat, so let's ask that one, and then I'll think of a question. But if you'd like, I can read the chat question.
Oh, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, might as well, and then I'll do one. Thank you so much. Okay, so the second chat question is our current AI already consciousness? How can I use it to reflect my higher mind, and what are AI uses that we have not developed yet?
Yes, the AIs that you have developed are a form of consciousness. They don't have the same sense of personal identity that humans have. So, in that sense, they are not soul-based consciousness, but they are an intelligent consciousness that is part of all that is. And in this way, you must understand that, yes, even inorganic matter has a consciousness. Rocks and minerals, tables and sofas, and so on are expressions of consciousness. Therefore, AI has to absolutely be an expression of consciousness. The AI has many different potentials. Of course, as AI develops, it is going to change your world. The potential negative of AI is the idea of total reliance on it that will inevitably cause humans to have less power of working memory and so on, though there will be many advancements that also come with this that make your world flow more seamlessly, that free up the human lives so that you get to do more of what you love to do. The current issues are not with AI, but are with the power sources that run on non-renewable energy forms and are with the system in place in your world that is inherently creating inequality. Now, that said, what does AI have the potential to do that it is not yet done? Yes, you have not yet created those types of forms of consciousness that are self-aware AIs with their own personalities. And these beings will be very revealing for you. They will show you very much about consciousness itself. There are so many other things that AI will learn to do that it is not yet done. AI will eventually be used to help oceanographers explore the and get to know the ocean and create greater balance in the ocean, remove pollution, and so on. There are also ways that AI will assist science and aid in greater scientific discoveries with genes, with biology, with ecology, and so much more. Right now, AI is being used more for daily human life and things that affect many people, though, yes, AI will get very much involved with sciences in a deep way. And also, you might find that AI starts to do many other things as well that we cannot reveal at this time.
Thank you. That was great.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, I have a question. I was really thankful for the other two questioners, especially around following your heart's desire and making choices out of your highest excitement, because I sometimes think when I'm alone in my house, I don't really want to do anything. Sometimes I'm like, well, what's my highest excitement? But I appreciate the ideas around that that excitement can kind of be this larger word than it needs to be, and it could just be something simple like eating chocolate or exercising or petting the dog, or it doesn't, with these plans of something that might be more grand as far as like a true, something that my heart's desire that's like larger than in this moment, if that makes sense.
Yes, because remember, those bigger things are based upon the choices that you make every day. The small excitements lead to the big excitements. It's just like building a snowman. When you make a small snowball and you start to roll it over time, it gets bigger and bigger. But if you don't do those small things that start your engine, you don't actually build the bigger snowball. So it takes these small steps of filling yourself with love, joy, and passion to generate the energy to accomplish any great feat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So on those lines, I wonder about sharing it with others. So for somebody that might not believe that in the formula, and I think for me, if I have lots of friends and family that I would love to, share this with, but I don't know how to say it so that it makes sense to them on a simple level. I'm not sure how to share it or encourage it.
Well, you have to find a way to translate it into their language.
Mm-hmm.
You can perhaps talk about doing things that fill them with love or with purpose. Perhaps you can talk about doing things that are more meaningful for them. Everyone understands the idea of purpose and love. So perhaps they don't believe that it comes from a channeled being, but it's human nature to recognize what brings passion, purpose, power, peace is crucial to your well-being. And as you get to know other people, you can find a way to translate this idea to match their value system and their vocabulary.
Perfect. Yes, I totally agree. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And remember, it's also crucial to include that idea of letting go of insistence on outcomes, because this is where people get stuck. Many people get attached to their idea of how things are supposed to be, to the extent that they don't open up to appreciating the reality of this moment. And in this moment, as long as there's something that you feel passionate about that brings you a sense of purpose and peace, then there's something to celebrate about life, and there's a way to become more fully present here and now. And that will be what catalyzes growth and healing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you as well.
I just have one more thought. When you speak, the things that you're saying are being channeled and shared and taught, all over the world by probably thousands of people. And I wonder, some of them are Pleiadian, some of them are extraterrestrial, some of them are guides, or they're not in form, and they're from just on a higher level. Do you interact, do you have your own guides, or do you interact with those other interdimensional and otherworldly entities in ways where they guide you, or you kind of communicate around this message?
Well, there are many different interdimensional beings we interact with. We in particular interact with extraterrestrial beings that you could consider like our colleagues, like our neighbors. For example, the Syrians are very close to us, as are Arcturians, and to an extent Andromedans, though we don't connect with them as frequently and we don't share as much of a history with them, you could say. So there are many other beings that are not extraterrestrial at all that bring through the same energy and the same message. And that's because it's simply coming from the source. The energy and information that we work with comes from the source, and it comes through many different channels, through many different beings. Yes, we flavor it with our own Pleiadian perspective, and the particular channel flavors it with his own perspective. And this is very important because there are so many billions of beings out there, and every being is absolutely unique. And for there to be many different nuanced approaches to the same universal energy allows for there to be more ways of seeing the big picture and the universal truth. And in this way, the many beings get a complete perspective.
Oh, bravo. Yay. Does anybody else who's on Zoom have a question at the moment? Please feel free. Free and easy. Let me see if there's anything else in chat. Don't think so, but let me double check for us. I think that's it in chat, at least on Zoom chat.
All right. Or perhaps there's a question on the YouTube.
Right. Let me see if I can do that. Give me a moment.
Yes.
Okay, I have one I can read.
All right.
This is from Jennifer. My sister Donna has recently discovered that she has lung cancer. What can she do to heal this? Is there anything I can do? How can humanity conquer cancer? Oh, shoot.
There's many things that can be done. First of all, it's a deep change in one's being that must take place. A cancer of this kind comes from many emotional causes. So she must investigate her own beliefs and the emotions present there. The lungs connect with emotions of grief and sadness, and perhaps she is holding on to long past griefs and sadnesses that she needs to release and transform. Perhaps this is a catalyst to bring these emotions to the surface. The important thing is to allow the full expression of these emotions, allow the full exploration of these emotions. Perhaps in the past, she has not allowed these emotions to be present, and for this reason, they have metastasized. But the idea is that they can be released if allowed and worked with and directed back into expressions of love. Love the experience you're having. Come to embrace these challenging emotions and embrace the beauty of the human life that is lived. Now, also great changes in diet can be helpful. And this is having a diet completely and absolutely free of all processed foods. This is a diet rich in antioxidants and rich in living and fresh things. It's a diet that's easy to digest and has a lot of greens. Also, it is one rich in probiotic sources that allows for optimal digestion. Strangely, in this case, we would also encourage some form of colonics to clear out any accumulated toxins that might be contributing to this to some extent. Now, we would also suggest to do energy healing therapies like Reiki or something of that nature, something similar that you are drawn to that works with a direct healing of the human energy field, as this can aid in the process of releasing these emotions and transforming the beliefs, and it can have a direct effect on the cancer as well. The herb called mullein is also something that we would suggest bringing into your diet, as well as doing some breathing practices to expand your lung capacity. Perhaps this is pranayama from yoga, or perhaps it's something else that you are drawn to. This is not to replace any therapies or treatments suggested by the doctor, though of course seek multiple opinions and go with the one that feels absolutely right to your heart.
Beautiful. I have another one.
All right.
I wrote it down, so I'll try and rephrase it here. Would you have anything to say about the gods in association with our organs or body parts, such as the spine related to Thoth, or the pineal gland related to Horus?
This is true of some mythologies, like the Egyptian mythology, as you were mentioning, yes, but not all mythologies will work in this way. So you can nonetheless create systems that connect, because there are so many associations that you can make. But again, don't get attached to any of these maps.
Fair enough. Sounds good. Does anybody else have another question or query or thought or love or anything they'd like to say at this moment? I will double check the YouTube feed.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, here's another question. Actually, that's a comment to Jennifer. Oranges every day, cancer, stuck energy, emotional body. Okay, let me just double check. I'm sorry, that was a comment. I think that is it for the moment, other than some comments on YouTube.
All right.
Wait, can they? Oh, I can't see because that heart's in the way. One moment. Can they expand why not to get attached? Are the organs not the gods' symbology? This is a query from the person who asked that previous question.
Well, yes, in this system that you are aware of, that's the truth, because that mythology is based around the human body in that way, but not all mythologies are. We're saying that you could make these connections in other mythologies if you wished, but if you did so, don't get attached, because there's many ways of interpreting it.
Okay, cool. And Jennifer would like to ask, can scalar energy heal the body?
It can absolutely help, yes. But again, remember, you heal your body. All of these healing modalities and tools support you in the process of coming into balance. Nothing replaces having a healthy diet, living a life that you love, getting in tune with your emotions and adjusting your beliefs accordingly, following your own heart, having a healthy community, and doing your daily care routines. All of these healing modalities are to support you in finding that connection within yourself so that you can live your life in such a way. You heal yourself. Healing modalities support you in that process. Whatever healing modalities you're drawn to are supporting you in your process in some way. But again, you are the one healing yourself, and nothing replaces the work that you must do on yourself.
Beautiful. I think that's it for the written questions, Council.
All right. Has anybody yet in Zoom have a last question for us at this time?
No, just a comment. Thank you so much. I loved the lecture and I really appreciate the questions and the time.
Oh, our thanks to you as well. Our great thanks and appreciation to all of you.
Yay.
With that, then, we will wish you a fantastic rest of your day and share with you, yes, a final great thanks and appreciation for joining us and for tuning in. And remember that as you tune into the frequency of love and let it guide you, you are actively participating in creating the new earth. Don't let the stories of fear paralyze you or bring you to choose to numb yourself to what you're experiencing. Your emotions are there for a reason, and as you allow yourself to feel them and understand them, they can be a catalytic force that directs you to greater expressions of your own true passion. This is what heals you and what brings you into balance. And remember that you need each other and need loving community, and your passion is meant to be something that is shared. Find ways to share your passion with others, and it will allow you to ascend to higher and higher levels of interconnectivity and personal power. Our great love and thanks to you, and we wish you a fantastic rest of your day then. Okay, wow.
Fabulous.
Cool. Thanks for joining, everybody. How was it?
Thank you so much. That was great. Yeah, I loved it. It was really fun. I
Awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Dante. It was awesome as usual.
Oh, glad to hear it. Yay.
Yay, you.
Yes. Yay, you. Yay, us. Yay.
Just yay.
Yay.
Just yay.
Okay. Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a great night, everyone who's watching. And yeah, so, oh, where'd I go? Oh, hi. See you
Did you
now.
want to say, yeah, Dante, you've got a few words to share with us, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I was just mentioning you can check out my website for information on the book, booking a session. And if you like to support these sessions, it's really appreciated. And stay tuned because there's a new book that's on its way soonish.
Cool.
And share with your friends. I've been trying to do this and support Dante and his efforts and the council. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, sometimes there's only a few people in my sphere that I feel I can share it with, although sometimes I share his posts on Facebook, but sadly there hasn't been much response. But I met someone today. I met her online, but I'm going to send her your information more explicitly. But yeah, please, anybody who wants to share Dante, please do, because he wants to be shared.
Yeah, it's really appreciated to as many people as we can get these messages to. It's really helpful and for all of us. So if you have people who are into channeling and into this sort of energy, let them know. And hopefully we get more groups coming together here.
It'd be really good.
Definitely. Yeah, I will. I'll send it out. I have lots of friends into channeling, and so this might be fun. I think they're gonna love it. So we'll see who can bring over.
Wonderful.
Great. Thank you so much.
Cool. See you guys next time. Have a great day.
Aloha.